We're internally calling this one worst dinner ever.
Yeah.
So, hey, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. The president is a private citizen, and there's nothing corrupt about this, as Washington's favorite sugar baby, Carolyn Levitt, will explain to you.
On the president's dinner tonight, will the White House commit to making a list of the attendees public so people can see who's paying for that kind of access to the president?
Well, as you know, Garrett, this question has been raised with the president. I have also addressed the dinner tonight. The president is attending it in his personal time. It is not a White House dinner. It's not taking place here at the White House. But certainly I can raise that question and try to get you an answer for it.
Okay. And on
Okay, so he's not at all doing this in his official capacity, and yet, as you will see in this clip, he landed in the presidential helicopter and he gave his speech behind the presidential seal, which would make it an official event.
What a nice place. Did you get to see the helicopters?
Yeah, super cool.
Good seeing you.
These are the fucking people.
I don't see a lot of window here. How do you like this location? Pretty good.
Nice.
They call you guys chuds, but I think you're some very smart young men. You're all men. It's very strange. None of you can get laid, can you?
You can't even see them. They sound like the winners of a Donald Trump crypto dinner giveaway sweepstakes. You like the helicopter? Yes, cool helicopter. It's really cool. Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They sound exactly like the crowd at Tesla events.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Remember when Elon just did the Optimus thing, with, like the footage we got? That's exactly what. Oh, cool!
That was so cool.
Oh, it's so cool! Oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah. So yeah. Good luck arguing that this is not an official event, that this is a private event. Not that anyone's going to hold him accountable. Influencer who attended Trump's Memecoin dinner says he got a Walmart steak and no access to the president. Nicholas Pinto, a 25-year-old social media influencer, accumulated more than $360,000 in President Donald Trump's cryptocurrency to attend an unforgettable gala dinner with the commander-in-chief. The food, though, was forgettable. Trash, Pinto texted Fortune during the banquet. Walmart steak, man.
Walmart steak. Trash.
The menu included a Trump organic field green salad and an entree duet of filet mignon and pan-seared halibut.
All right, I can't talk shit about that. We have an ad read coming up for Trump organic field green salad. So we can't. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta straighten up and fly right here.
Exactly. We
Everyone
have to be pros.
Everyone at my table was saying the food was some of the worst food that they ever had, said Pinto after the meal. I was hoping for either Big Macs or pizza, Pinto said, referring to the president's well-known taste for McDonald's. That would have been better than the food that we were served. So this was the menu here. So it's the salad, filet mignon, the halibut, and then a warm lava cake at the end. So that sounds pretty good, right? This was what it actually looked like.
We have the 20-ounce everyday savings porterhouse.
This is my friend Tucker. This is one of the Swanson Salisbury steaks. I heard he donated it to the event here.
They don't even plate it, so it like looks like it takes up half the plate.
They just literally like this looks like how you would get it in a school cafeteria.
This looks like if you were delivering it to someone's house and you made a turn too fast and it all slid to one side.
The crypto bros who bought millions in Trump's coin to attend Trump's dinner got a Walmart steak and halibut with an ice cream scoop of mash and some veg with canned sauce. Not what you'd expect at a banquet. The scammer even scammed the scammers. Well, he always does, doesn't he? This one's pretty funny. Trump's crypto dinner looks like a meal you'd get as a reward in prison for not stabbing anyone all week. That is a Sunday Girl. Well done, Sunday Girl. Well done. We should hire her as a writer.
Yeah, it's good.
But the real draw of the evening, of course, wasn't steak or halibut. It was Trump himself. The top 220 holders of his Memecoin were promised an exclusive evening with the 47th president in what critics have called one of the most blatant pay for access schemes in presidential history. In total, investors bought up 148 million of the cryptocurrency to attend the dinner, according to crypto analytics from Inca Digital. So, what did they do with that crypto? This is Virtuoso. I don't think it's our Virtuoso. I think it's an imposter. Yeah. Remember Trump's crypto dinner with holders? It turns out that most Trump token whales didn't even wait for dessert. According to Decrypt Media, just 8 of the top 25 holders kept their tokens, meaning the majority sold off before the dinner began. Meanwhile, outside the event, protesters gathered to voice their opposition to the president's crypto policies. When even your biggest backers are out before the main course, it says a lot. So here's a little of that protest. That's quite a greeting they got. Quote, most of the people here are sketchy. NGL, not gonna lie, Pinto texted Fortune. Trump did appear and gave a speech, but Pinto described the president's address as pretty much like bullshit. And most guests had no access to the commander-in-chief, he said.
Like
even Caitlin Sinclair, the host of the dinner and an anchor on the conservative news network OAN, wasn't able to get much FaceTime with Trump. She said, "Oh, Trump didn't even give me a picture," Pinto remembered. Wow. So let's see Trump's stirring words to his fans.
And if you look at the numbers over the last couple of months, a lot of industries went very bad, and they're coming back pretty rapidly. But this one was really, it's becoming a stalwart. Can you imagine? It was, a lot of people thought it would be the opposite. But it went down less and it went up more. And it's now you're hitting really high numbers today, I see. But it's, I think you're all pretty happy with this industry. There's a lot of spirit for it. There's a lot of spirit. There's a lot of spirit for the country. I just got back from the Middle East, and we brought back with us trillions of dollars. Trillions. Somebody said, you know, every other president, when they leave the country, they lose trillions of dollars. We brought back trillions, and the country is doing really well. We have no inflation. Costs are way down. Oil just was at $1.99, $1.98 a gallon, which you haven't seen in years. Not since me, actually, not since mine, because we had one of the most successful, financially one of the most successful presidencies in history, as you know, stock market, everything. We had a tremendous...
Yeah, no, that's not a presidential event at all. Talking about what he's doing in his official capacity, doing what he usually does, just lying. Yeah, no, you watching our show right now, you could see those prices dropping, right? Right? $1.99 gas. Yeah, I'm seeing that everywhere. Yeah. $1.99 gas. No, the country's doing no inflation. That's just a lie. It's just a lie. There's no inflation. So yeah, I mean that's pretty typical of Trump's speeches. You know, I stood there in the Bronx listening to him for 2 hours. Yeah, man. I mean, most of it's like that. It's boring, it's rambling, it's self-aggrandizing, just bragging about stuff, usually not true. Supposedly the speech, he gave them basically a half an hour. Only out of 225 people who got in, only the top 25 got any actual time with them. Otherwise, you got a Walmart steak. You got some potatoes, and he was out of there, man. Like he didn't even stay. Apparently, he just came with the helicopter, gave this speech, and he left.
That was it.
And he was out of there. Only one person, I think, was really, really happy, with how this went. Justin Sun, a crypto billionaire who feared arrest in the U.S., returns for dinner with Trump. This worked out very, very well for him. Under the Biden administration, U.S. regulators had charged Sun and several of his companies with market manipulation and offering unregistered securities. In February, after Trump returned to the White House, a district judge granted a joint request to stay the case in order for both sides to negotiate an out-of-court resolution. Why would they have done that? Oh, a foreign crypto billionaire feared arrest for helping criminals move billions, then dropped $23 million into Trump's Memecoin to score a private dinner with him. The SEC dropped its case against him after he invested $75 million in Trump's crypto company. That's the Tether coin being run by Eric, Donald, and Zach Witkoff, the son of the Middle East envoy. These are bribes. Trump is for sale. Yeah, you think? So Justin Sun really likes to do humiliation rituals on poor people. So you remember that $6.2 million banana taped to a wall? We actually did a segment about this. He bought it and he ate it. Now, you watching this show, I want you to think about your financial situation. Now, if you're going to criticize socialism and its flaws, you've got to acknowledge that a flaw of capitalism is that it inevitably leads to outcomes like a piece of shit like this being able to do this kind of thing while you can't afford to feed your family.
全球最贵的香蕉不仅仅是一象征性的行为，与此同时，更是对当代艺术和文化创新的致敬。今天的现场，我们也非常荣幸能够与各位嘉宾和媒体朋友们共同见证这个充满创意与象征意义的美好瞬间。
It's an even worse deal than the
Donald
Trump Memecoin Walmart steak special.
Some people in that room paid more than he paid for that banana.
Right, yeah.
So he has really been promoting this. So the top 5 winners on the leaderboard got $100,000 Trump watch. Apparently, he didn't even give them the watch personally. Like he really went above and below to do as little for these people as he possibly could. But he put together a little montage to show off his new watch and his night at the Trump dinner. Now, there was music under this that I'm pretty sure was copyrighted, so I put in my own soundtrack.
Your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Yeah, I think that worked.
It did. It wasn't music, but it worked.
It worked. So here's he actually got to give a speech during dessert. It must have been a pretty hostile crowd after that meal. he got to give a speech. Tough room. And he got a tour of the White House. Honored to be invited to the White House by the president and to see this iconic piece, Fight, 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 a timeless source of strength and inspiration for us. So, hey, man, if that's not bribery, I want you to tell me what it is. That this criminal miscreant bought up more Trump coin than anyone else. And he seems to be the only one that Trump didn't tell to go get his fucking shine box out of this entire event. So just to explain here what laws Trump broke, this was a pretty good summation from Skyline Report. You can look this up on X. Trump's crypto dinner wasn't just sleazy, it was likely illegal. Trump broke the law. The use of official insignia for private gain violates federal rules. If you are saying this is a private event, you're not allowed to use the presidential seal. Right there, you've already broken the law. The failure to preserve records violates the Presidential Records Act. Now, what he's talking about here is one of the peculiarities of crypto. One of the things that makes it so attractive to criminals is its anonymity. Now, normally, if you're doing something in the course of your presidential duties, certainly if you're getting any donations, you're supposed to keep a record of that. They're claiming they don't have to keep a record because this wasn't official. So that's how they're getting around the Presidential Records Act. The acceptance of foreign payments without congressional approval violates the Constitution. So he's talking about the emoluments clause. You're not allowed to take foreign donations. Obviously, Justin Sun bought him and bought the SEC through him, clearly. And the White House has the nerve, and he's not the only foreign actor. I think Bloomberg said 19 out of 25 of that top 25 was foreign money. A good deal of it from China, which he's supposed to be so hostile towards. And the White House has the nerve to call this absurd because people are questioning it. No, the real absurdity is pretending this brazen monetization of the presidency is normal. It's not. It's fucking dangerous. Because if we let a sitting president auction off access like a goddamn timeshare pitch, we no longer have a government. We have a mafia. Yep. You could say that again. I mean, very often, the way that this administration functions plays like the mafia.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So this was pretty funny. It's not a dinner. It's the 1% deciding how they can take more of our money. Yep, exactly. That's what this is. This level of just wanton corruption is would have been unimaginable until somebody actually went ahead and did it. Trump is really testing where the guardrails are of the system and whether the system can keep up with this level of corruption when you have had oligarchs buy the entire government, when you've intimidated even those who might speak up against you into silence. Look at what came up in the Biden segment. Yeah, not that anyone really wants to pay this guy to speak for other reasons, but one of the reasons they said was they don't want to piss off the Trump administration. He's intimidated law firms, and yes, a lot of these law firms got involved in lawfare and they were politically motivated in some of the legal actions they took against Trump. At the same time, now you've got an atmosphere where the legal system is intimidated into not wanting to enforce the law against this president. He's building essentially a Gestapo via ICE. You've already seen them press charges against a congresswoman for getting pushed from behind. If you actually go and look at the footage, what's the purpose of all this? You got a president who wants to be able to go stand behind the presidential seals, take open bribes through these meme coins, and have nobody in the system who's able to hold him accountable. We just saw in Keaton's segment, they are intentionally slipping things into what's ostensibly supposed to be a budget bill that would neuter the courts and stop them from being able to hold the Trump administration accountable. If you're not running around breaking the law, what do you need that for? Now, they'll say it's because these are activist liberal judges. As Glenn Greenwald has pointed out, many of these judges who are most vocal about what a threat to the legal system what Trump is doing is, have been appointed by conservatives. A lot of them are conservative, constitutionally oriented judges who see this as a threat to the entire system, which it is. Now, clearly he should go to prison. I mean, clearly he's just running this whole crypto scheme as a means of taking bribes. Is there any check in our system that's going to hold him to account, or are we at the end game of democracy that so many of the Greek philosophers wrote about? Plato believed that ultimately democracy ends in tyranny, that eventually you wind up with somebody like Trump who lights the system on fire. It seems that way. And he was skeptical of democracy because he felt that eventually the people will put a tyrant in power. Eventually they'll turn away from democracy and they'll empower a strong man. And here we are.
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, the thing you got to remember about that is that you can't arrest and charge a sitting president. You have to go through impeachment. And, politics has become so polarized that there's no chance that anything like that would result in a removal and a conviction. And that's been true for decades. I mean, back to the Bill Clinton years. So, I think there's a reason why you can't prosecute a sitting president. I think they do have certain executive privileges that others don't, for simple reason that tens of millions of people put their faith in them to execute the office. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty in your face, and it's pretty comical too. I mean, I always said Trump is like, he had hotels and casinos in Atlantic City. And I always said Trump is like the human metaphor for Atlantic City. When you would go to Atlantic City, even the last time I was there, and a lot happened between the last time I was there and the second to last time I was there when I was a kid. Economics changed. They're less dependent on gaming now than they were because people don't have as much money to game, and so other shit is more expensive. It used to be you get a great deal on everything there because they rip you off at the fucking blackjack table.
Right.
Anyway, long story short, you get to Atlantic City, you think, all right, this is going to be kind of a trashy, decadent, but at least fun and enjoyable time, right? The buffet is going to be good. No, nothing's good. Everything sucks. Everything is miserable from the time you get there to the time you leave. And that's the way Trump is. That's the way these Trump events are. His speeches, most of the time you look at a speech, every once in a while he nails it and he's got the crowd in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
Most of the time you look at the crowd reaction to these Trump speeches, they're sitting there like, what's he on about now? What? Like, it's just not as advertised, but that's what makes him the ultimate American for this moment is he could sell a pile of dog shit better than anybody. And that's how you get to the top in America. Hey, thanks for watching our video. We're currently raising money to produce our documentary film on the Uhuru movement. Go to givesendgo.com/do dissidents to chip in.
Every dollar you give goes towards the project. We do not take any kind of salary on these. We mostly live on Gatorade when we're on the road, so even solid food is iffy, just enough to get by. But we do not take any pay for this. Every dollar actually goes into what we need to shoot the project. The Uhuru movement is a subject that really deserves more exposure. Everybody heard about it through the court case, and that was an important thing to elevate. But they've done incredible community work demonstrating a different way that is socialist and not dependent on the government at the same time, which a lot of people don't even realize that still exists in the tradition of the Black Panther food and education programs. And to show there is such a strong community like that with such strong leadership is really important, particularly at this historical moment.
Yeah, so we're really excited about doing the project, but we need your help. So go to givesendgo.com/do dissidents to chip in. Thanks very much for your support.
Please clap.